My name is Wallace. I am a friggin' flippin' vampire. Um, I don't know what time it is. Stopped caring. I'm not sleeping. It's like second night of not sleeping. Uh, my my vampire self is in full. Excuse me. Is like unruly. But I, I'm starting to remember now that with more and more time spent in higher transformations, that the unruliness inside of me is it's like it's more awake. The I got some tea. I'm gonna drink some tea. Anyways, I'm just doing some thinking, and last video I talked about Katie, vampire who changed me, and I want to talk about, like, I was thinking about, so the effects of, and the when you love a vampire. um well, why would you love a vampire? Is the vampire doing some kind of crazy magic? Is the vampire just being itself? Is the human brain pre-programmed on an instinctual level to recognize vampires and love them? Why is love one of the most powerful forces in humans? Why, if there are different forms of love, what kind of love is it with a vampire? What are the love effects on the body? How does it affect the body? How does love affect the body? I still love Katie. I still think about her. It's one of those things that, you know, I'm hoping that I can release from myself, but it's just a thing. And in the video series that I'm watching right now on Netflix, Interview with the Vampire, there's a character called Claudia, and this Claudia character is like this female daughter of these two vampires. They adopted her, and they miss her. They love her. She's gone, and they're just like, for like 100 years, they're just like, this is terrible. We need to. I can't stop thinking about her. I loved her so much. I'm just like asking questions, but like I'm not really answering them. They're just like, I know that just like asking questions like makes you think or whatever. It's kind of just like doing a right now for this video, just kind of doing a diary. Um, I know that lack of sleep is not good for you. I'm a gosh darn vampire, so not too worried. I took a nap yesterday, so it's like whatever. And am I depressed? I know that not being able to sleep is a sign of depression. I don't know, it might be. Is this just a part of growing up, part of realizing and recognizing trauma and just recovery from therapy, possibly? Am I sad and unhappy? No, I'm not. I'm just tired. I'm fine. I'm still able to laugh and not care. I've got that numbness. It's like not like very strong numbness, like in higher transformations, but it's just like just like a casual numbness, you know. I'll drink some tea. If I could drink tea, if I could do this, probably not. So here's the thing. I've realized that love and loving a vampire is powerful. Love in general is powerful, but loving a vampire is also, it's like, I know from experience that it's like a lot, you know. It's like a different, it's like a more strong love. If I don't know what the scientific term is, but I'm clearly just being funny and silly. It's like way too hot to drink. Anyways, drinking black tea. I prefer black tea. No cream or sugar, just straight black tea. I got something in mind too. So yeah, I used to think that I used to intentionally be. It's like you can't really be avoidant when it comes to love, but you can be an asshole and like a jerk or whatever, and then people will be like, I'm gonna stay away from that person. I'm not gonna really, not. In my mind, I was like, for some reason, I was like, this is gonna help slow down the process, the inevitable process of people who love me. I was like, I'm doing it for other people, just completely and purposefully being ignorant and denial. The fact that you can't control that. But I was like, at least I can try to slow it down. But I talked about my development from the beginning of this video series. And I knew had several videos um, around video like 20 or so, episode 20 or whatever around there. I was talking about how it's the development and climbing a mountain. I'm working on myself. I'm developing. I'm doing therapy. Yes, 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 yes. But also, I was like, I'm gonna climb the mountain. I'm gonna develop, and I don't want to do this. And one of the reasons why didn't want to do this, I was like, I'm gonna be even more um, lovable. And I've had some people motivate me to say, stop holding yourself back. be the most be the most lovable. Like, you are very lovable. Make just go all the way. Just do it. Just, you might as well. Dude, I'm thinking about you, and might as well just work on yourself and do it for you. And that's somebody in love would say. Like, somebody who loves another person would say, man, just it's okay. Just do what's best for you. You know, someone who wouldn't like me would say, hey, bud, hey, bud, uh, you've got enough people uh, who love you. So I'm not like going around, like, you have to understand my mentality. I'm not going, like, given what I said earlier about, hey, I'm referencing like several videos um, through the timeline of creating this video series, and uh, talking about different feelings of, like, hey, I'm not doing this because of this. I'm not achieving all that I can achieve because I'm content with my humble life, and it's like, I have ambition, but my ego, I don't want that. But there's like evolution of myself, and it's like, who cares how many people watching? It's like, um, I talk about in other videos, like, hey, I'm like famous, but not really, because vampires are like a secret or whatever. But it's like one of those things where it's like, not really. It's like la 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 la, like it, to me, it's just like excuse after excuse after excuse. It's like, if I was to critique myself, it's just like, bro, you're like a super lovable vampire. Vampires are super lovable, but you are also like, you are very lovable. Um, I think I'm nicer than other vampires I've met. I care way more than these other asshole vampire dudes and ladies. Like, I'm so inherently, and I don't think I'm doing it to be an asshole. Like, what I sacrifice certain things that you think a vampire would do, specifically because I got morals and ethics, and I'm holding on to that. I've got very, like, over the top ethics and code of conduct, over the top. And I would say, oh, I'm, because I'm scared, but it's like, I'm not scared. I just have code of conduct and ethics. You know. Um, so it's like hell yeah, man. Like, I think these are qualities that everybody should have. And like, part of me wants to criticize myself and say, like, see, here's the psychological dilemma for me spending a lot of time in using vampire energy and being higher transformation of vampires, is that I start to think, you talk about having I've talked in other videos about having a normal baseline of thinking, but I'm like, my normal baseline line of thinking is much, much more vampiric. And to the point where, like, yes, I ask myself, am I being true to myself? And I'm like, and then kind of a strange thought that kind of made me feel a little weird is that, like, am I being, instead of asking if I'm true to myself, am I being true to the vampire part of me? I'm like, wait a second, hold on. Like, isn't that, to me, I'm like, isn't that bad? Like, I should be true to my silly Wally self, right? But then I'm like thinking, I'm like, is that just me? Is silly Wally just like, if I'm spending all this time in like vampire modes and stuff like that, it's like silly Wally's like just like an asshole excuse. And I'm like, is it not? Am I an asshole excuse? It's like, that's how I know I've been spending like a lot of time. Um, it's like when I spend a lot of time as an alpha leadership, or whatever, and I'm like, started thinking in things that went normal baseline thinking. It's like, well, gotta think about things from a leader perspective. Gotta think about things from a vampire's perspective. Like, it don't mean shit. Like, what I'm effectively, the goal of saying, am I being true to myself, is to make it's like a check. But in reality, it's like, who cares? Do I even care? Like, specifically, what matters is my values and uh, what I believe in. And the question is, am I staying true to that? And the answer is yes. It don't matter if my self is more vampire or more silly Wally or more leader. You know, um, and things change. Things change over time. People change. And, I do feel like my truer self, like, this is just honestly speaking, truer self would be to identify with the vampire part of me, like the vampire inside. Um, I feel much more like, because, like, as I've said, it's affecting my 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 just me, So it's like, well, I just more closely orient my life with that vampire. I'm just like being just more honest, given the condition of you know my situation. Uh, and I'm starting to do that more and more. You know, side effect of side effect of that is being more lovable. And I'm like, do I even really care? It's like, wow, what a terrible thing to be loved. It's like, it's kind of a silly thing, right? Like, it's not really even a thing, is it? But no, vampire love is like, it's intense. Um, Love of a supernatural thing is really intense. It's instinctual. It's not logical. I mean, part to me, it's like, it's such a powerful thing that, like, when I was younger and someone would like make me mad or whatever, like someone who I, who's been making me feel unhappy for a long time, it's just like, I'm gonna make you love me, like, which is like 10 different kinds of wrong, right? Like, but I used to think, I was like, well, bud, I know that you're right here and at this can tell that you're starting to be my friend. Now it's like now you're gonna be more my friend. You know, it's just weird. And like who thinks like that? Like what kind of spoiled brat thinks like that? It's like, man, look at that person over there. It's I don't know what kind of spoiled brat thinks like that, but it ain't right. It's like I don't know if it's wrong technically, like from a moral standpoint, but it's like having somebody, if somebody loves you, are you really doing harm to the person by having somebody love you? Like that's something that's a question I would want to ask a celebrity, or like many celebrities. Be like, do you think it's wrong? It's like I think it depends. It depends on like the type of, like I don't want to. It depends on the type of love, but also like the severity of love, which is an interesting topic. Like, because you know, if you love someone and if you interact with them enough, like you can, like I know it's a thing, like where people think about people like all the time. You know, and it's like it could be it could just be a lot. You know, and it's like so no. So the question is, I would have to ask myself next: am I intentionally doing that? No, not. Do I think that maybe I could be doing that and that it may be a good idea? No, I don't think it would be. Do I think I should let nature run its course, so to speak? That's what I've been trying to do. Do I think that's complete all those things I just said? Do I think they're ridiculous? And um, yes, I think they're ridiculous. But it's like it's I try to question. I try to use my uh, moral ethics regarding love, and it's like there's an a absence. It's like love is good. Like love is good. Love. I'm like, hold on. Like that's what that don't sound right. Like too much of anything isn't good, right? We could agree. Or I think most people agree with me, you know, but it's like I realize that my 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 leader instincts are like, no, there's no guidelines for love, like genuine love. Like it's like is too much love. I mean, I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about just love. Is there ethical, moral for love? Like, no, I don't think there is. You know, anyone could love anybody. Like, that don't sound right. Like, why is that? It don't, it just don't sound right to me. And like, from a alpha leader perspective, you know, I want to say like use that part of my brain, leadership, and I'm like, I still don't don't feel there's like any guidelines for that. And then I'm like, well, what about like we're talking about vampire love? Vampire love is even more intense. Says who? Says me? And I'm like, yeah. Like I'm just talking to myself right now, like kind of like a crazy person. But it's like that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I know that vampire love's intense. You know, I only knew this girl who was a vampire who turned me. I only knew her for what, maybe like, I don't recall exactly, but probably like maybe like 7 or 8 months. Like I know people who've known me for years. I can't imagine. I do think it's directly proportional to time spent with a person, but also what the person's doing and who the person is. But you know, am I showing, like, do I feel a sense of concern regarding love and how it pertains, and specifically a type of love for vampires? Yes. But, like, I don't have, it's like, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing, but I'm like, it's a thing. It's a thing. Am I making it worse by doing therapy videos? By, by becoming a better person? By aligning myself more with being more and better vampire? Am I making it worse? Like, define worse. Does that apply to love? In this regard, I'm like trying to be ethical, So, but at the same time, I'm like, what ethics regarding this? And uh, I don't know. It just, am I showing false concern? Like, am I just really just trying to hide? Do I just feel like overwhelmed and I'm just like manifesting the desire for? Am I just like masking my insecurity of being loved? I think that's more of a truthful thing, given that my concern over the lack thereof of ethics is perhaps nature's way of saying, hey, Wally, you're an idiot. And this isn't the problem. The real problem is that you're insecure about love. Or should I say, insecure and ignorant, lacking of knowledge regarding love, even though, I've experienced it in in some ways, And do vampires love people? Yes, they do. Do they feel the same love that that person is feeling for the vampire? No, absolutely not. I know firsthand, before I became a vampire, what it was like to love another vampire. I know as a vampire that I still love other vampires, but it's different. It's not as intense. So, is it because I'm an asshole? Is it because I'm a single guy? Is it because of any of those circumstances that I feel uh, less of a power of love towards other people? I don't think it's any of those things. I just think it's simply the nature of being a vampire. Because people love me, don't want to take better care of people. Yes, I think there's a direct. Here, I, do I feel obligated to treat people better just simply because they love me? I don't think that's right, but I do think I do that. Like, I'm like, I can tell. Like, I walk into a room and everyone's like super chill, and I'm like wearing like I look like a fool. I look like a total fool, and like if I walked into any other room, there'd be people like who the heck is this guy? And I'm just surrounded by people, and they're just like, we love you. They don't say that, but they're like trying to hide. You're like, hey, bud, way to go. Really empowering yourself today. Good job. Like, yes, it's very, very, very obvious. Uh, is that a bad thing? To an insecure person such as myself, it's not bad, but I'm just insecure, painfully, obviously insecure. Uh, like, what can I do about that? I don't know. I think it's a nature thing. I think it's more of like I think my insecurity stems from the silly Wally part of me, not so much the vampire, and and definitely not the alpha leader. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have something to do. I don't actually know. I'm hypothesizing. I'm trying to use a very loose scientific method, very, very, very loose, to see to experiment and do results with um, possible reasons of why I feel insecure. Like it's hearsay, but it's like, I'm trying to find the right answer. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead. I can't believe this video is 30 minutes. I can't believe I've been talking for 30 minutes. It's crazy. But then again, I'm not sleeping, so appreciate y'all for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.